Explain like I'm five. What happens if we don't sleep? Most people have pulled an all-nighter, staying awake all night to play games or watch films. In fact, I remember a time when I was about 16 and I went to my mate's house and I stayed up all night with them to play video games. I ended up staying awake for just over 35 hours. And walking home from the bus stop, I vividly remember dropping my keys, only to search the ground for about 10 minutes to find them in my pocket. So, what happens when we stay awake longer than we should, and how long can we stay awake for? Well, it is estimated that anyone over the age of 17 needs about 8 hours sleep a night, and not getting the amount of sleep recommended can lead to a lack of alertness, impaired memory, and greater likelihood of car accidents. There was a fellow called Peter Tripp, and he was a radio presenter in the mid-1950s, and he broke the record at the time for working without sleep, and he managed to do it for an astonishing 201 hours straight, and it was all for charity. And for the stunt, he sat in a glass booth and worked as a radio presenter for the public. And there were sleep specialists with him, there to make sure he was always awake, to monitor him and make sure he was okay. And he was able to do the show fairly well. He pulled himself together and kept on DJing. And after about 100 hours of being awake, he was no longer able to do simple math problems or even recite the alphabet. And after about 120 hours, he began to have hallucinations. And it's recorded that when he went to shower in a nearby hotel, he opened his chest of drawers to get his clothes and saw flames shoot out of the open drawer. He then began to believe the scientists were conspiring against him and wanted to frame him for a crime. And it was thought that his behaviour was linked to the fact that the brain began doing REM cycles even when he was awake, and these cycles are associated with our dreams, so he would have been dreaming while conscious. In the last few hours of him being awake, he told the scientists that everyone believed him to be Peter Tripp, but he wasn't who everyone thinks he is. He was someone else. When he got home, he slept for 24 hours, as you would. But once he woke up, it didn't go too well for him later down the line. He eventually lost his job and his wife divorced him. There is a rare condition called fatal familial insomnia, and it's only affected 100 people. But once developed, it can lead to death in 2 years, and this is linked to a lack of sleep, so it just does show how important sleep is. But on a side note, why did the toilet roll down the hill to get to the bottom? Ayy.